Hello, I'm State Representative Norma Smith, representing the 10th Legislative District. Also from the 10th, I want to introduce you to someone that's paging with me this week. Her name is Annika Reese. She's from Freeland, Washington, and she attends the Cedar Park Christian School. Annika, thanks for being here and serving with us this week. What have you enjoyed about being a page here in Olympia?
I've really enjoyed serving my representative and serving everybody else and getting to know them and having the feel of getting to do something in this legislature.
That's awesome. The Capitol really is an amazing place, isn't it?
Mm-hmm.
And you know what? This is the people's house, and it's great to have the opportunity to be here. And thank you for serving us.
Thank you.
And for being a page this week. We really do appreciate your help.
Thank you.
You know, it's great having young people like Annika with us and allowing them to have the opportunity, the privilege, really, of having them here so that they can see firsthand what we do. In the House, there's also a page program in the Senate, and if you're interested, please contact my office because it's a great way for young people to learn about what we do here in government and why it matters so much. You know, I just wanted to give you a bit of an update regarding what's been happening. The House of Representatives recently passed the cutoff date to send our House bills over to the Senate for consideration. This is an important cutoff because if a bill didn't make it out of the House and is not part of the budget, it's likely dead this session. My bill, House Bill 2640, that would require the Department of Commerce to consider total project cost and per unit cost compared to similar housing projects constructed or renovated within a similar geographic area for the Housing Trust Fund program did clear. What's so important about this is, wouldn't you think that we would already be scrutinizing whether or not we're using those dollars most effectively in housing? Unfortunately, that hasn't been the case. I'm encouraged that the bill passed the House unanimously and will now be considered by the Senate. I'm still concerned at the lack of legislation moving through the House and the Senate that might help stimulate the economy, promote job growth, and give our employers some certainty. I wish there were more. This needs to be one of our top priorities. Yet with more than half of the legislative session behind us, we haven't seen that. But I'm going to be pushing hard for anything that might help spur our economic recovery. We need to make sure businesses are succeeding, especially in this time of economic uncertainty. A stronger economy is how we pay for quality schools, safe communities, and take care of our most vulnerable. The regulatory environment in Washington often makes it difficult for us to compete with other states and to keep jobs here. In fact, the U.S. Chamber of Commerce recently released its annual 50-state review of regulations and employment laws. The report states that with an improved regulatory climate, 18,000 jobs could be added in Washington. Unfortunately, our state ranked poor for labor and employment laws and regulations that are part of the lowest ratings in the report. Factors contributing to Washington's poor showing includes numerous labor and employment mandates that exceed federal standards, daily overtime rate on public construction contracts, very high wage ceilings for income that are subject to unemployment insurance tax. There are other factors as well. And you know, we've got to be able to work on those effectively. Those of us in the House Republican caucus have introduced legislation to address most, if not all, of these issues, and yet none of our proposals have made it past the public hearing process. To improve our state's economic recovery, we need economic certainty. We need to promote and protect our competitive advantages. The things that we do well in Washington, we need to celebrate. But we also have to be honest and work on improving those competitive disadvantages so that employers that are considering locating and investing in Washington know that this is a great place to do business. There are a lot of small businesses I'm hearing from that are still struggling. My hope is that in the final few weeks, we can take a look at some of the regulatory reforms and proposals that could help our state economy and in turn, help the budget with revenue growth. I can tell you that my focus remains on passing a balanced and sustainable budget within the 60-day session and legislation that helps employers create and retain jobs so that our Washington families have that hope and opportunity that are so desperately needed right now. We will be making decisions in the following weeks that are sure to have a measurable impact on the lives of families, our communities, our schools. As always, I will do my very best to advocate for the constituents of the 10th District during this difficult time. Thank you for trusting me to represent you in Olympia.